I give Joe Schoen an A minus only because I would have liked to seen that wide receiver room addressed outside of the real threat Malik Neighbors. Other than that, the picks the Giants did make, great. You know, the Giants really couldn't screw it up at 3. Could they have? Either they were going to get Hunter or Carter, and I am so glad it was Abdul Carter. Look, there are only 2 players in this entire draft that the scouts listed as having Pro Bowl talent, and that's Ashton Genty and Abdul Carter. Hunter is great and all, but he has stated, of course, that he wants to play both sides of the ball. And for me, in and of itself, that raises big-time questions about durability and longevity. And you look at Carter, he's going to be an immediate force on that Giants defensive line, which, oh, by the way, don't look now. It might be one of the best in the NFL. Carter, Lawrence, Thibodeau, and Burns. Yikes. Then, of course, Jackson Dart. I'm going to be honest, on my draft chart, I colored his line item in orange, which is one step above red, which is don't take. There's also a matter of fit. He is a perfect fit in Daboll's system, and I actually really trust Brian Daboll's process after watching it with my own eyes play out on Hard Knocks. If Brian Daboll likes Jackson Dart and feels as though he can coach those things that the scouts were saying negatively about him, he can coach them out of him, then I'm all for it. I trust Brian Daboll, actually. And the one problem I have is this. If you have been looking for a quarterback since last May, which is what Joe Schoen said in the presser, you knew there existed a permutation in which you probably would trade up to pick one. Why did you bring in both Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston? That doesn't make sense to me based on the number of snaps that Jackson Dart is going to get with the first team. I understand it's going to happen in the spring and the summer, but once the season starts, that's a couple months of, I would think stagnant progress, plateaued progress until the next year. I could be wrong. But other than that, Joe Schoen killed the late round picks. You could tap the link below to listen to my in-depth analysis of that. A minus for the New York Giants.